Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, it is time once again for a little look into the background of stuff we do in the shadows. That's it. Don't get us confused. Well, I mean, you can get us confused. That's it. Anyway, audio check sounds good. Time to start the show. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. You can see I am here in the distillery. There's one of my two stills in the background there. Where's the other one? Where's the column? There it is, the still column, right? Isn't that it? Yeah, there it is, right there. Wait. Can you see it? No, you can't see it. It's actually back here behind everything. Yeah, spatial. There it is. It's back here behind everything. That's one of my two columns. The other column is over here off camera too. Anyway, I'm the Old Humble guy. This is the Old Humble Distilling Company. And we are going to be bottling up bourbon today. Bottling it up like absolute bosses. Let's just get on with it, shall we? I don't have a whole lot of time. We technically open at 2 o'clock, but it's Christmas time, and the weather's been a little dodgy lately, so I don't know if we're actually going to have people coming. This is the setup today. There you can see my column in the background now. It's right over there, behind everything. This is the setup today. This is where we're going to be doing all of the exciting work. So let's get on with it. All right. So what am I doing specifically? This is my bottling barrel right here, from which I have already filtered and done all the stuff I needed to do for our Boomtown bourbon. That is how I make the seal. I dip that gasket in the whiskey itself to make the seal. And I actually have to drain this hose. I hadn't done that yet. So there was some residual whiskey left in this hose, and I needed to drain that out. So just a little bit left behind. Just a little bit left behind in there. This is for Pete Hegseth, who doesn't have a drinking problem. That's like the funniest, honest to God, the funniest thing I've heard all week. Pete Hegseth claiming he doesn't have a drinking problem. And because he clearly doesn't. He's good at it. You can just as long as he's got some to drink, he does not have a problem drinking at all. Because he's an alcoholic. Hopefully he will not be our defense secretary, but hey, what do I know? I should stick to distilling. Right? You fucking Canadians. Can y'all see what's going on over here? Can you see the bottles? You cannot see the bottles. Let's turn this just a little bit. There we go. All right. So the table right here that I'm bringing everything to, let's lower this down a little bit. Yeah, so you'll be able to see. Yeah, okay. So this is private label special reserve, the stuff that I bottled up and labeled up already. I had to remove the labels because those labels were crooked, which is an unfortunate side effect of doing something with a one-off, kind of a one-off process. I did it wrong. I did it badly, and I needed to get them back and redo them. After the errors were found. It's not the first time that's happened. I don't like it. But what we're doing today is 5 cases of Boomtown bourbon. 5 cases of Boomtown bourbon, which is, if you know your math, kids, that is 60 bottles. 1, 2, and I'm going to have 10 rows of 6. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my God, things have been interesting this week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got some fun stories. I heard on the radio today, our lieutenant governor here in the state of Texas is going to go on a crusade against and to ban THC in the state of Texas. Because, and I quote, they're not going to have retailers endangering our kids with THC. Doesn't want to let those retailers endanger our kids with the THC. The kids, always go to the kids angle. Meanwhile, the amount of legislation they've passed to prevent school shootings in the last 25 years, because, you know, those weed-crazed gunmen running into schools, murdering all these kids, that's what we need to worry about. It's the weed. And not even the weed, the fucking THC. I'll let Darren know. I mean, you know, as a whiskey man, I'm supposed to be opposed to THC and marijuana shops because that's supposed to be competition, but it really isn't. So, all right, so that is 60 bottles. So we set up the bottles. Here are the corks. The bottles will come here. The corks will get affixed to the bottles. The corks will get affixed to the bottles, and then we will label the bottles. Most of these are going to stay in the distillery. Some of these are going to be going to Waco with me, and some of those hopefully will not be coming back. All right. So the first thing we do is we get the air bubble out of the line to get the whiskey moving into the bottle. And then we fill it up to the neck. And after these first bottles, it will be fully automated, or mostly automated. There we go. And that's it. 4 bottles at a time, 27 seconds per bottle, per set of 4. So, of the legislative priorities in 2025, because the Texas legislature only meets every 2 years. So 2025, 2026, they'll be off. 2027, they'll be on. Of the legislative priorities, it will be making the streets safe for our kids by doing something about THC products. Jesus. Because, you know, that's what kids are worried about. Well, I know when I send my kids to school, that's what I think about. You know, I watch them walk off to the bus, and I think to myself, I sure do hope they don't have to do a lockdown drill for the THC in the building. That'll be horrible for those kids if they have to do lockdown drills. Fucking stupid as hell. What else has been going on? Pete Hegseth, his Department of Defense. That's the latest. Oh my God, this is a fucking whole clown show. I don't care. Honest to God, I don't care. At this point, I'm moving towards the attitude of just let the whole fucking place burn down. Just let the whole place burn down. We'll rebuild it. We'll rebuild it better. The institutions that have gotten in the way will be in flames, and we'll be able to build back better, so to speak. We'll be able to do the things that we weren't able to do as a people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. So I stack them on the table in sets of 12. I stack them in the loading zone in stacks of 6. I go over here to the table in stacks of 12. That way I can see what my progress is. I'm 1/5 of the way. I know how much, if I'm just filling up as much as I can, I know how much I filled. I know how many cases I need. I know my count. It's all part of the organization process. It makes it easier and simpler to just run the operation when I don't have to sit here and worry about. I'm not constantly counting bottles. I'm not constantly having to organize and reorganize and do the little bitty bits and things. It self-organizes it. The operation is what I'm trying to say. The whole operation self-organizes because it just stays. You know, it's why you have columns and rows in Excel. The whole operation just stays organized. Put that there. That way I won't trip over it. What else? Oh, this is the funniest thing. This is probably the funniest thing. So late last month, I want to say, I offered another creator here, content guy, here on the YouTubes, the opportunity to have a fake beef. You know, because internet beefs aren't real to begin with. They're all fake. Well choreographed, nonsense, good-humored ribbing usually between friends. You know, when you see people that are complaining about each other, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say 9 times out of 10, the two principals know each other. Everybody else is talking about the people who are bitching about each other. They are not in on the joke. So these contrived internet beefs, they can go on and on and on and on and on. I've done it a few times where I've complained about Mr. Beast of all people. Possibly one of the nicest people on the internet. But, you know, that was kind of one-sided. He didn't really take part. He doesn't know who I am. Nor should he, I suppose. Laser Beam, I've complained about him a little bit. You know, good-natured ribbing, fun nonsense. And every once in a while, a bunch of slack-jawed morons get tricked, and that makes it even funnier. Because then they come out of the woodwork with their 2, 3, 4 subscribers and their dozens of views on their stupid little channels because they've got a playlist or something that they made. And in the course of a week, I get as many views on my channel alone as these little morons have on all of their little channels combined. And, you know, likes and comments. Comments are even better than likes on channels and videos. That's the engagement. It is it is full on a manufactured brush fire. This is just leveling off the level. See, they're right about level now. Full on a manufactured brush fire. But it also shows to Goya that some of these little semi-literate morons can see through the joke because some of these semi-literate little morons actually post, you know, like, you must like the guy if you're complaining about him. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, good job, Junior. You figured out you cracked the code. But to be clear, Tyler the Creator's music sucks. I mean, he's a good guy and all. Seemingly. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. Seems to be pretty talented, I suppose. But here's the real benefit that I've gotten, because I do listen to his music occasionally. I throw it into the Spotify queue and whatnot. It comes up. I don't exclude it. Let's put it that way. All of the good rappers have started coming through on my queue too. A whole lot more of the good, old school, classic guys. You know, the ones who actually are lyricists, who you can hear what they say, and it's not just mumbles. It's not well-produced cat litter. Well-produced cat litter. That's a good one. Y'all can use that one. All right. Beautiful. But for real, it's been amusing seeing the legions of Tyson the Creator's fans come out of the woodwork, and how uninteresting, unimaginative, boring. I guess this is not so much a roast of Tyler the Creator as it is his twos and twos of fans on the YouTubes who among the I don't know, 6 or 7,000 a day that have come out to watch my videos and say they're uninteresting and unimaginative comments, not unlike, you know, a lot of the music that these idiots are listening to. The lot of them can't rub together enough brain cells to come up with an original thought. Unc has, this is like 90% of the comments. Unc has his kid's phone. Like, really? You're the 1900th person who said that. That is not interesting, funny, original commentary. You suck, you're lame. So it's not so much a roast of Tyler the Creator anymore. It's more a roast of his idiot fanboys that are coming out of the woods, coming out of the woodwork, trying to defend a guy who, honestly, I never really said anything bad about until today's video, like, or last night's video. Like, that video I watched last night was legitimately awful. He's got some decent music, you know, if you like that sort of thing. Anyway, so I am on my last live Tuesday night. On my Tuesday night happy hour, some of the little morons came out of the woodwork, and you know, they boosted my numbers, and that was fine. I was happy for them, but they still haven't figured out the core of the joke. Hey, sunflowers, most of them still haven't figured out the core of the joke, that internet beefs are not real. Nothing that happens online is real. It's literally all virtual. And if you turn off the electricity, it stops happening. It just stops. But beefs that happen in the street, boy, those are real. That's Tupac and Biggie. That shit was real. And those guys were actually good performers. Jesus Christ. Tupac was a full-on lyricist. That motherfucker was a poet. And they had real beef, and it went in the streets, and it was messy, and people lost their lives. That's what real beef looks like. If you turn off the electricity, that shit keeps going. Internet beef is nothing. It's not real. It doesn't count. It's nonsense, silly garbage. And these stupid kids haven't figured that out yet. And maybe one day they will. But until that day happens, I will continue to capitalize on the monetization of their moronics. Moronicism? Idiocy. We'll go with idiocy. I will continue to monetize their stupidity and enjoy the spoils of their pathetic education. And speaking of beefs that fall into the streets, New York police have yet to release the motive for the killing of the CEO of United Healthcare. Thoughts and prayers to his family. Obviously, he was loved by his kids, friends, family, etc. So you don't ever want to see people die, right? I bet you're hearing me say that and you're expecting a but to follow that. I'm not gonna. You never really want to see people die. You don't. You want to see. What you want to see is people's hearts be changed. Even the most horrible people, you want to see their hearts be changed. You want to see their minds be changed. You want to see them participate and make the world a better place. Sunflowers, the vodka is available here at the distillery exclusively. Maybe next year I'll put it online, but I'll tell you the same thing I told you Tuesday. You don't want to buy a $20 bottle of vodka online and have it shipped to your house for $17. It doesn't make any damn sense to pay $35 for a bottle of vodka when you have vodka, unless it's just, the fuck is calling me? My lovely wife is calling me. Please hold on 1 second. Let me talk to my lovely wife. Yes, babe. I am working. What is going on? Phone call settled. All right, we're back, kids. The last 4 bottles have been bottled. We're here. Make sure we're live. Yep, we're good. Okay, last 4 bottles have been bottled. Sunflower has beer industry news to share. Fire away. That One Limb. Welcome to the party, That One Limb. Good to see you. I guess. Oh, a gamer. Cheers, gamer. Welcome to the party, That One Limb. Anyway, okay, so last 4 bottles have been bottled. That was a emergency. I didn't check my bank account before going to the store call from my dumb little kid. That's actually the first one that we've gotten since he left for college. And it's a little annoying. I'm not going to lie. It's a little annoying, son. Because you just spent $60 on a turntable and some records, and now you need a goddamn suit. It's only a $50 suit, though, so I guess there's that. What's the beer industry news, Sunflowers? I'm curious. I don't know what beer industry news you're talking about. I do know that Stoli has filed for bankruptcy. The American branch of the Stolichnaya vodka family, because I believe they're based in Ukraine, and they've been under attack from Russian hackers. Or are they Finnish? They Finnish? Stoli. Stoli vodka is based in. Stoli vodka is based in the Soviet, or was originally based in the Soviet Union, but so I guess it was Ukraine. Made in Latvia. Version of vodka found outside Russia is made in Latvia. Inside Russia is made there. It's classically styled, exceptionally smooth vodka. That's written by the company. So it's based in Latvia, and they've been under attack from Russian hackers for months, apparently. And they're operating on a manual system now. Manual. God, I've got such a thick fucking accent. But they finally have succumbed to whatever hacks and attacks they were suffering through. I guess that's the words I'm looking for. And had to declare bankruptcy. I am bankrupt. For to get protection from their creditors, I suppose. Let's see here. Can we move this back a little bit? Yeah. Does that give clear enough? There. Is that good? Yeah, so what I'm doing here is I'm putting the shrink seals, the neck seals, the safety seals on the bottles. The next step will be to actually shrink them onto the bottle, the corks. And then we go from there. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, Stoli's out of business. They're not out of business. They're bankrupt. They're operating with manual operations. No computerized operations because the hackers have apparently taken over their systems and blah, blah, blah. Which sucks. I had my computer full on crash back in June, and I have yet to fully recreate the systems that I've lost. it was very bad to have. I owe a lot of people a lot of explanations still, because I had to switch over computers and switch over systems, and there's a lot of stuff that had been set up that was running automatically that made my life a lot easier, but it is no longer running because it was connected to my old computer. And this is your warning, kids, to back up your shit to Dropbox or the cloud or wherever, lest you suffer the doom hammer, the blue screen of death. What you got here? Sunflowers. Yuengling is coming to Illinois next year. Ooh. 5 brands in Illinois: traditional lager, light lager, black and tan, gold pilsner, and Flight, a new upscale light beer. Look for the beers at Chicago area bars. It only took 185 years. Well, good for them. Good for them. That's exciting. Very exciting. Very exciting for Yuengling to be expanding. I didn't know they weren't available in Illinois. They're available. I figured they were available nationwide. I did not know that they were not available in some markets. That is somewhat surprising to me. Somewhat surprising to me. I need to check something in the other room real quick. Pardon me while I check this thing. Lunch today was Subway, a foot-long Subway sub. No chips, 12-ounce Coke. A 12-ounce Coke, which, by the way, is about how much Coke you get in a 20-ounce Coke when you put ice in the glass. It is also my watch says it's 1:15. Is it 1:15 or 2:15? What freaking time is it? Is my watch correct, or is my brain correct? Yep, my watch is correct. We'll go to Indiana to get the beer. Okay. Well, good for him. Good for them. That's kind of cool. Like I said, I didn't know that Yuengling was not available. I thought it was a nationwide brand. And the fact that it's from the Northeast and not available in Chicago, or it wasn't available in Chicago, is kind of surprising to me. You know, it's a Pennsylvania brand. So I figured for sure it was going to be in the major metros up there before it was down here in Houston. I mean, hell, I can go get Yuengling anytime I want. It's not like a popular brand in Texas or in Houston, but it's available here. So current step in the process is the shrink seals on the necks. And again, I'm doing about 5 cases today. Nothing huge. 5 cases of the Boomtown Bourbon. It is retail. Let's see here. 500 and what's halfway between 480 and 600? $540 to a bottle, or to a box, to a case. So we got $540 to a case. So this is 5 times 540, about $3,000 worth of product I'm putting together. And if my retail partners were doing their jobs and my sales team was doing its job, I'd be selling about this every month, about 5 cases of this every month. But My retailers are not adding this to stores the way they're supposed to. My sales team is not able to turn it over the way they're supposed to because I haven't been able to schedule sales calls this month because I've been overwhelmed with everything. But January's going to, the tide in January is going to change. Be out doing a bunch of stuff in January. A bunch of sales. They say everything slows down in January, but that's when I actually can do a whole lot because the major guys kind of back off everything in January. You know, they make a big push. You have all your Brown Foreman and gimmicky Christmassy crap that comes out in November and December. And in January, they kind of just back off. They all take a break because they did their O&D and they rest because they had such busy end of year schedules. Oh shit, that's when I get out there because like there's a void, a big empty void out there in January, and I can just take advantage of it. I can go hit all the stores, sell a case in every store, just absolutely crush it. Absolutely crush it. Load up with extra inventory. I mean, I know what everyone has, where everyone has to have it. And we hit the ground running at the beginning of the year. And we actually kind of take a break at this time of year and focus on the distillery, focus on the tasting room, do all that stuff. Where's there it is. Take these off. It's 60 degrees outside right now. It feels absolutely fantastic. We don't have a whole lot of air circulating in the distillery, though. So it's a little bit toasty. It's not toasty. It's like 72 degrees, maybe. What is on the sub? My sub was meatball. Meatball marinara, provolone cheese, salt and pepper. And they don't put enough salt or pepper on the sub, so I actually get extra salt and extra pepper and bring it, or use my own salt and pepper here at the shop. Speaking of salt and pepper, our cocktail of the month has a little spice in it. The spice is cinnamon. We've got a cinnamon. What the hell is it called? Cinnamon. Shit, I forgot what the cocktail for December was. Cinnamon. Oh, cranberry cinnamon sour. So it's lemon juice, just like your normal whiskey sour. But the lemon juice is half lemon juice and half cranberry juice. And then a pinch of cinnamon to go with the cranberry because it's, the holidays. And cinnamon goes in everything in the holidays. I was threatening to do a peppermint chocolate old-fashioned, but decided not to do that because that's just too damn complicated. It's too many steps, too many steps in the process. Adding the peppermint, doing all the little bits, nah, not worth it. Besides the cranberry sour, I can mix all that ahead of time. Give it a shake, and you're ready to go. But remember, when you're making cocktails, don't shake it more than 3 times because then you're playing with it. All right. Almost halfway there. This is the step of the process that probably takes the longest because I'm pretty solid when it comes to putting the labels on. It doesn't take me too long to put the labels on. But this is a function of the heat. There's a certain amount of time that this requires. Even in just like filling the bottles requires 27 seconds for 4 bottles. This requires a certain amount of time in order to properly heat and properly melt the neck band. And these tamper-resistant labels are a result of being able to ship whiskey across the country. Because what would happen is barrels of whiskey would be shipped across the country, and what was in the barrel was, when it left the distillery, was not always what was in the barrel when it got to the bars and general stores across the country, because they would, every step along the way, there was an opportunity for someone to take a little sip, take a little bottle, take a little bit out of the bottle. But it used to be that the barrels would be sitting there, and if you wanted a bottle that would come home with you from the general store or whatever, you either had to bring a bottle or buy a bottle, and they would fill it up right out of the barrel in the back. They didn't ship barrels across country or bottles across country. They shipped barrels across country. But when glass bottles became cheap enough to mass manufacture, then the distilleries would take their whiskey, put it in a bottle, put a safety seal on it. This was in the early 1800s. They'd ship it with a safety seal so that you would know if your whiskey was tampered with when it got to its destination. And that is why we have tamper seals on bottles of whiskey. And that is now a thing you know. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. Who dat? I'm happy for Yangling. That's kind of cool. Anyway, what I was saying about the beefs falling out in the street, you never want to see people die. So, you know, the CEO for United Health, gunned down in the street in the middle of the afternoon or morning, I guess it was late morning in New York City. Gunman laying in wait. The NYPD has not released a motive, although I'm pretty sure everyone in America could be all like, yeah, we know why. United Health denied someone's claim, and that someone decided, hey, I'm dying anyway, I could do this, or they paid someone to do it. Apparently the gun had a silencer on it, and the dude was laying in wait. He went to Starbucks, got himself a coffee, waited for the dude to come out of his hotel room, then clock, clock. Shot at least 3 shots that I've heard about. And there was apparently stuff written on the shell casings. So, yeah, I think motive is probably pretty clear. But here's the conspiracy theory route that I just was introduced to today. Possibly he was involved with insider trading, and he was either going to blow the whistle. He knew someone who was involved and he was going to blow the whistle, or he was involved and he was the one involved and it hurt somebody and they were going to exact their revenge somehow that way, or it was possibly a divorce, but I didn't understand him being divorced. That didn't ring true. That didn't sound like it made sense, because I thought his wife was still his wife, you know, loving family and all that. So this is an interesting story. You know, we don't see our oligarchs getting gunned down in the streets very often. You don't see men at the head of corporations that do a lot of harm to people, fearing for their lives as they walk amongst us. And they say things like, we don't want to deny any legitimate claims, but then, you know, they incentivize denying claims because that improves profit. Here's one of the fun things that insurance companies do. I don't know if you've been involved in anything like this, but this is a true thing that they actually do, and it is a policy done by the insurance companies actively. They will, like, let's say you get in a car accident. Let's say you're at a stop sign and the guy in front of you backs up and hits your car. Not your fault. You're parked. You're stopped. You're trying to, leave the parking lot, or you're waiting at the intersection, and this dumbass backs up and runs into your car. You need the repair done, right? The insurance company calls you up and says, hey, we find you to be 10% at fault, so we're not going to pay $100 of your claim. It's a $1,500 claim. We're going to hold back $125 because you should have kept. You didn't honk. You didn't back up to try and avoid him. You could have kept a larger distance between the two of you. You could have done a whole bunch of things that you didn't do because you should have expected the person in front of you to act completely irrationally and back into your fucking car. So we're going to hold back 10% of this claim, or almost 10% of this claim. It's a $1,500 claim, but we're only going to compensate you $1,350. To which you respond, how the fuck do you come up with that? And how do I dispute this? They said, well, you can call a lawyer. You can get your insurance company involved. Like, why should my insurance company be involved? My deductible's higher than $150. Why should my insurance company be involved? This is that guy's fault. He backed up, ran into my car. Oh, you can fight it. You can hire a lawyer and fight it. Well, a lawyer's going to cost more than $150. So what you do is you just eat shit, and the insurance company saves $150. Or Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield says, you know what? We're only going to pay for anesthesia that goes through the original, that goes, for the original amount of the procedure. We're not going to pay for if the procedure runs long, we're not going to pay for the extra anesthesia. That's not our fault. That's the doctor's fault. The doctor's going to have to pay for that. But the doctor is going to charge you, the patient, because you're the one who has to foot the bill, not the doctor. So, nobody wants to see people getting shot in the street, but at the same time, how do these people walk in the street without ever fearing that somebody... This is a Second Amendment country, right? They're just walking around, going back to their offices and making decisions that impact people's lives. And they're going to be like, yeah, nobody's going to do anything. Are you fucking kidding me? I don't understand how these people, well, I know how they sleep at night. They go to Mattress Firm and they get a well-fitted mattress. We've all seen the commercials, right? How do you sleep at night? On a Mattress Firm mattress. Fit to my body size and type. That's how they sleep at night. And if you haven't seen the commercials, you will. They're coming. All right, that is 5 cases, sealed up, top shelf dust in the house. You've never heard of something like that happening ever. Well, top shelf Dustin, you can confidently say that you have now heard of that happening because it has happened to no fewer than 4 people that I personally know. 4 people where the insurance company was just like, you know what? Eat shit. We're gonna limit your claim. And it was an auto claim, not a health insurance claim. We're only going to pay 90% of your claim, or 85% of the claim. That's how they save money. They still make the claim, they still make the payout, but they save 90%, or they save 10% of the payout. That's a policy, still make the claim, because then we can say we accepted the claim. But they can also tell shareholders and management that we saved money, not by denying 10% of the claims, but by denying 10% of the claims. We accepted 100% of the claim and denied 10% of the monetary award. So there you go. Literally, now it's obviously different with health insurance. Obviously different with health insurance, because it's not like they can say, oh, we're only going to pay, 80% of your cancer medication. But they do say insurance covers 80% of the cost up until you pay your deductible, and then it'll cover 100% of the cost. So there's that. There's that. I don't to this, I know how we got to where we're at. We got to where we're at because of where we've been. Private health insurance was a thing. And we have private health insurance because our economy was not completely destroyed during World War II. And that is why Europe has public health insurance, because their economy was completely destroyed during World War II. And it was part of the public good, like we don't want people getting sick. So health services are going to be paid for. We are going to make sure that everybody stays healthy, because if we, they had just had the pandemic, the flu, in the 30 years earlier. If they're trying to recover from World War II and everyone comes down with the flu again, that would be a disaster on top of a disaster. So that's why they had public health insurance implemented, and it was just something they were doing, so it's something they kept doing. This seems like a good idea. In America, on the other hand, they chose a policy decision of, you know what, go eat shit. Your health insurance will be tied to your employment. So if you get sick and lose your job, you're also going to lose your coverage. So go die. And everyone in America said, you know what? That seems like a really good idea. Because the business interest told them to say that. And now we have a multi-billion-dollar insurance industry that has convinced us that competition among insurers helps bring down prices. But yet, instead of fracturing and breaking into several different companies every year, they consolidate and buy their competitors every single year. And they get larger and larger and larger and larger, because in the insurance world, risk pools bring down costs. Large, deep, broadly defined risk pools bring down costs. So smaller, narrower slices of the population, companies with small subscriber bases, are not more efficient than companies with larger client bases, which is counter to the way most corporations work. With most corporations, you get there comes a point where you're less efficient the bigger you are, and it's actually better to be broken into smaller units. But it also comes a point where you're so small you're inefficient, and you need to, get bigger to enjoy scale. That's why your auto companies are organized into divisions, and they don't just make, Chevys. Like Chevy doesn't just make every single type of car. There's a benefit to the segmentation, both through marketing and through operations. But that's different. That's not how insurance companies work. Insurance companies work if every single person has insurance from the same, then the risk pool is as low as it could possibly be. Which is also why Medicare and Medicaid exists, because people and old people get sick more often than everyone else. And insurance companies were like, we don't want to insure these people. And the feds were like, you know what? We got you for the old people. We got you for the poor people, because the poor people are still going to go to the hospital. And they got to be paid for somehow. You're either going to pay when they show up at the hospital, or you're going to pay through the insurance company. And they figured they could make them pay through the insurance companies with Medicare or Medicaid, whichever one's for the people. I can't remember. I think Medicare is for the old people. But yeah, they don't want to insure the old people, because you know what old people do? They eat a lot of prescriptions and get their hips replaced. And hip replacement surgery is a lot more than the cost of annual premiums. I mean, forget the fact that they paid $5,000 a year into a system for 50 years of their entire goddamn life. And for at least 30 of those years, they probably didn't see a doctor at all. So 5,000 times 30 is easily, what, $15,000? $150,000? 5 times 30. 5 times 3 is 15. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 with 4 zeros. 15 plus 4 zeros. That would be $150,000. And then the insurance company, no, we don't want to pay for their hip replacement. We'll only pay for 80% of their heart transplants, heart bypass. We're only going to pay for 80% of that. Fuck those guys. I guess your cancer treatment? No. Thanks for the premiums, but you know what? And they wonder what the motive was. What could the motive possibly have been? Why would anybody have a grudge against a health insurance CEO? It's a mystery. It's a complete and total mystery. I'm just perplexed. Anyway, I should check chat. Cut ginger. How anyone here know? I have people tell me dealerships competing lower the cost of a car too. Dealerships competing can lower the cost, but those add-ons, man, that's the thing. They lower the cost of the car, but I don't think it lowers the cost. I mean, man, my time selling cars was probably the most frustrating thing I ever did in my entire life. You talk about high-level calculus math. This shit wasn't even math. This was like imaginary numbers that change. This was the suggestion of details that would change literally from day to day based on the incentives and rebates that the dealer got. And the dealer wouldn't always tell the sales team, so the sales team would literally put together the same deal. Like I sold an Explorer for this price on Tuesday. Buddy, I'm going to bring the same deal up to our sales manager. We're going to get the same value for your car. The same value for your car. If you'll take $3,000 for that car, we'll give you $3,000 for that car. I know they probably don't give $3,000 for used cars anymore. We'll give you $1,000 for that car. You're going to be a little bit upside down, but that's probably the top dollar that we'll be able to get for that car. Then we're going to go over here with this is your rate. Back then, the rate was probably at 4%. I can't remember what the rates were. Price of the car, I think, was probably $14,000. I don't remember. I don't remember all the details. And we'll do it for 60 months. And we're going to plop this on my sales manager's desk, and he should say yes, because this is literally carbon copy from Tuesday. Today is Thursday. That was Tuesday. Nothing would have changed by then. And I go in there and plop it down there. The sales manager looks at me and says, "We're not selling Explorers today." Like, what do you mean we're not selling Explorers today? We're a Ford dealership. He's like, no, we got the incentives on the Focuses. Move them over to a Focus. Well, you fucking kidding me? This dude wants a Ford Explorer. He doesn't want to switch to a Focus. No deal. Would not approve a deal for a car because they were focused. They literally burned this guy because they wanted to sell something like 20 Ford Focuses that weekend, or 30 Ford Focuses, 10 a day for 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But did they bother telling us? No. Would it have mattered? No. Dude wanted an Explorer. Eddie Bauer Explorer. It couldn't have been an Eddie Bauer. Not for $14,000. Would have been for $24,000. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Actually, I don't even remember what the price of those cars were back then. This was in the early 2000s. I think I only did it for like 30 days, 90 days, 3 months. I did it for 3 months. And I skipped a Saturday sales meeting. And I got called into the manager's office. The manager said, "Why did you skip the meeting?" I said, "Because my girlfriend spent the night last night, and I didn't want to leave her naked in bed to come to a sales meeting when I didn't have to, for no money, for an unpaid sales meeting, when I didn't have to be in the office until..." I didn't even finish that sentence. I was already fired. I was already fired by the time I had gotten that far. My girlfriend at the time, she then became my fiance, and eventually my lovely wife. I didn't want to leave her naked in bed alone, so I skipped the meeting I wasn't being paid for. He's like, "Well, congratulations, you can go back home to her." I said, "Well, she's not there now." I don't know if I ever told her that story. Sunflower is cooking. For-profit health insurance is a joke. Unfortunately, it's not. It's deadly serious, super deadly serious. Old folks got cheaper drugs during the Biden administration. Yep, dealers asking for $5K of add-on. Man, those add-ons are they really are though. They're the insane profit margins on those add-ons. They sell them for the regular going price, but it's like, that regular going price is it's a 50% markup. And plus, they get the parts even cheaper than you would normally get at your auto part dealer. They get the parts even cheaper. There you go, Boomtown Bourbon. That's what we're making today, kids, or at least that's what we're bottling up. We've already made this months ago. We're just bottling it up today. Very modest sales goals with most of these things. 5 cases per month on most of these brands that I have. It depends on the number of stores we're in, but my goal is a case per month with every store that we're in. So if we're in 40 stores, for example, then I want to do a case of each label per store per year, which isn't, hard. But, you know, you make the rounds to each of the stores. You make the rounds, you sell a case, you come back home, you make some whiskey, you do all the things you need to do. In 2025, I am shooting to double that because I want to double the number of stores that we're going to be in. And actually triple that because I want to actually add a store, sell a case, then restock the store. So if a store gets added to the list, say Jim's Liquor down on 43rd Street and Oakdale, they will buy a case, and I'll come in and do a tasting. Then they'll turn around and buy a case to restock it. So every store we add is a 2-case sale, or at least that's the idea, that's the goal. So the goal in 2025 is to, I don't know, add 5 stores a month. 10 stores a month. A nice, modest, sustainable growth pattern. And if we add 100 stores all of a sudden, I'm going to be in here making a lot of whiskey. The challenge with adding 100 stores all of a sudden is supporting 100 stores all of a sudden. But it's not impossible. It's just a different problem to have. Who we got? Which state is my highest selling outside of Texas? That is a great question, Sunflowers, because we are available online, oldhumblедistilling.com. So, outside of Texas, it's actually a tie ball game because we've done 5 states outside of Texas: Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Florida, and Arkansas. And Arkansas is neck and neck with Illinois. Both states have purchased the same amount. And these are, of course, individual buyers through the website. You'll go online, oldhumblедistilling.com. Have it shipped to your door. Shipping's usually $19. You can get it shipping for free for using coupon code MAKEIT2, MAKEIT2, make it 2. As in, hey bartender, go ahead and make it 2. And then you get, 2 drinks instead of the 1. So if you buy 2 bottles, I pay for the shipping. So yeah, Arkansas and Illinois, and we've only been at it for a year. Online sales, and I want to say August, because I thought I had a Google ad out for the online sales, but that Google ad there was an error with the art, and the ad had been rejected. So for the first 4 or 5 months that we were doing it, from March forward to like August, there was no advertising. And I think we had sold 3 bottles with no advertising whatsoever. But one of those was Bimbo Barbarella down in Florida, so it was some advertising. She had bought a bottle for a friend. You got what I need. You say he's just a friend, but you say he's just a friend. Bismarcky was infinitely better than Tyler the Creator. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Argue with the dog. You're not. You're just, if you think otherwise, you're just wrong. Period. And I would like to also reiterate that online beefs are not real. So if any Tyler the Creator fanboys come in here, you should know you're welcome. I love you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for watching the video. But also, don't you have homework to do? And are you 21? Are you even 21? Should you even be here? Jesus. Dumb children. Unlucky there. Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil. One of Tyler the Creator's fanboys just showed up. Yes, Bismarcky is 1,000 times better than Tyler the Creator. It's not to say he's not entertaining. He is. Just be nice to hear something different for a change. Not the same old, same old, same old, same old. But, hey, you know, these lackwits like the same old, same old. They can have the same old, same old. At this point, it's not even about mocking Tyler the Creator. It's more about mocking the people who blindly defend him. He's not bad. I mean, Jesus Christ, he's on his, what, 6th album? And 2/3 of this latest album is just absolute fire. Absolute fire. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter to these fine lads. Not even a little bit. These fine lads, they just, like Beyonce's fans, Taylor's fans. They could record themselves taking a dump and it would go platinum because their fans just buy whatever the label says to buy. And, I mean, to be fair, Taylor could probably box up her own turds and kids would fucking buy them. She's a unicorn. She poops glitter. And I think that's why this is my favorite thing about all of this nonsense, by the way, is that I am absolutely getting some fantastic music on my feed now. Absolutely fantastic. My feed is fun and diverse, and I mean I can turn on the music from YouTube and just let it play in the background. And I can skip past all the garbage nonsense because there's plenty of absolute garbage nonsense. But you get into one of those playlists that is just off the damn chain. It is such an absolute delight. Absolute delight. It is 2 o'clock. We are officially open to the public. How long ago did Dum Dum make that comment? Taylor Swift is extremely successful. She is like most of the and you know she is like many performers. She is extremely talented. She's more talented than Britney Spears. Because Britney Spears can sing and dance and choreograph, but Taylor Swift can actually play instruments. That's, you know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. If it weren't for that sexy schoolgirl, oops, I did it again. Is that it? No. Oh, Baby Baby. The one where she dressed up in the stripper outfit as a sexy schoolgirl, whatever. If it weren't for that video, she would be singing at an IHOP. She would be a Waffle House waitress singing on Sunday in the choir for church. If Britney Spears looked like Alanis Morissette, she would be an IHOP waitress or a Waffle House waitress, and she would sing. Is that yeah? That's straight enough. And she would be singing at in choir at church on Sundays. The fact her fame is almost 100% tied to the fact that she is conventionally attractive. Because her voice, her untrained voice, her trained voice is actually quite nice, quite good. But her untrained voice is a dime a dozen. And one of my biggest issues that I have with modern performers is that they're so heavily produced and auto-tuned. It's just they both suck. I mean, you can't say they both. I mean, you can't, like, legitimately. They are well-trained, well-skilled, popular performers who are at the top of their industry. Let's be honest about that, all right? Doesn't have to be your thing. You can like both. If you need permission to do so, I'm giving it to you. You can like both. I don't understand why people take it personally when other people don't. That doesn't make any damn sense. Stupid little fanboys. But I do find it. This is the amusing part. The several thousand views that I've gotten over the last week, 2 weeks, from Tyler the Creator Fanboys is larger than the aggregate views from their shitty little channels as they come onto my channel to criticize me for being nobody. Like, who the fuck are you even? Unk's up here dissing Tyler. Unk, first of all, that's not the insult you think it is. Grandpa is actually way more insulting. I don't have any grandkids. I am boxing up now 2 cases because 2 of these cases are going with me to Waco. The rest of them will be here at the distillery for the foreseeable future. Well, for the near-term future. So I'll leave that bottle there. Actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and turn the camera here. Boo. Sorry. That was a lot. There's your box. Into the box we go. And again, manual processes all the way through. This was 5 cases, and I started this This is actually the second 5 cases that I've done today. Because I worked with these bottles earlier. I'm not going to label the side of this box because, again, it's going to Waco with my... I'm taking 2 boxes of rye and 2 boxes of bourbon with me to Waco this weekend. 1 box of bourbon, 2 boxes of rye over here. Good. For the Legends of Texas Whiskey Festival. The rest of them are here. So I don't remember what I was talking about. But I will say, new and unusual sound. That's what I miss from the, I don't know if you call it the golden era, but the East Coast West Coast vibes, Snoop Dogg doing his thing, and that's one of the things that makes the Northern Boys and Phil and Boz so fun to listen to. It's hard to tell if that's a gimmick or if they're like the real deal, because they're a bunch of old guys spitting rhymes. Can't believe I even said that out loud. They're a bunch of old guys doing their thing, but it's different, and it sounds unique and new and unusual, and it's fun to listen to. It's not this auto-tuned crap that you can barely understand because it's just mumble rap or and even the contents of the lyrics. I don't even give a shit about that. They all mostly say the same thing anyway, so I don't really care about that. That's not that big of a deal to even worry about. But when we're talking about, like, Eminem sounds so different than Biz Markie. It sounds so different, God rest his soul, sounds so different than Tupac, sounds so different than Snoop, sounded so different than Dre, sounded so different. All these guys sounded just the cornucopia, I guess. I hate to use that word, but the variety of music that we would get. And I think, actually, we're kind of on the cusp, I think, of a new golden age. I'll even go so far as to say it. I think we are on the cusp of a new age of music that looks and sounds a lot like the democratized music world of the 1990s, where there's no gatekeepers, where if you want to take your music, your art, your whatever to the people, you just go look at what's her face, the little female drag queen girl, what is her name? She just blew up in the last like 3 or 4 months. It's not Joanna, not Carly Rae. God, what is that dumb little girl's name? I watched a little thing about her sudden rise, because last year she was nobody, and this year she's playing in front of 100,000 people at Lollapalooza on Saturday Night Live. I mean, what is her name? What is her? Hi, Vanessa Kitty. What is her name? The Unicorn Ball, I think, was a song that, fuck. Ball. No. Unicorn Party. What is this? Okay. Little Hot to Go. She sings Hot to Go. What's her name? TTOGO. Hot to Go. Chapel Roan. That's who I'm trying to think of. This little kid goes from nothing, nowhere, nobody, and in 3 months, neutron bomb. She has become everything. I'm sure that's happened over in the other charts as well, the rap world and hip hop and country music. I'm sure it's happened over there. But this one, I just watched a little miniature documentary on this little girl. I say little girl. She's a grown ass woman. But she went from nothing to boom and blows up. 3 months. And basically, the long and the short of it is she signed with Atlantic like 3 or 4 years ago, I think. 2 or 3 years ago. And then, I mean, basically, she took her music directly to YouTube, took her music directly to TikTok, to Spotify. Well, not Spotify, less Spotify. But she took her music directly to the people, bypassed the traditional routes, went directly through her YouTube page, went directly through her TikTok account, went directly to the people. We are in a world where, granted, we still have to navigate the almighty algorithm, but we are in a world where you can literally bypass the gatekeepers entirely. You don't have to worry about booking agents. You don't have to worry about bars. You don't have to worry about clubs. You don't have to worry about the people who are deciding whether or not you can be famous. You can literally bypass them and go straight to the people whose opinions ultimately matter. The ones who are the ultimate consumers. And we are living in a world today that's what the 1990s was like when it came to music, when it came to in fact, it's more democratic than what the 1990s was like, because in the 1990s it was still regional. There were still regional gatekeepers. You had regional sounds and regional scenes. It was just a larger supply of producers than there was a supply of switch that. There was a larger supply of buyers than there was of producers, so you could make music and have a ready, open market to buy your music. And now, there's a billion kids on YouTube looking for music. There's a billion kids on TikTok looking for music. You get some stupid song with a nice hook and a stupid dance, and kabam, you are now intergalactically famous. Hell, I still flip on some of the radio stations here in Houston, and I have to listen to fucking TikTok songs. And it's awful, nasty, horrible messes of music. The only redeeming factor is that they've got a hook. That's it. It's overproduced schlock, but it has a little hook. I ain't something, baby. What is it? I ain't a killer, baby. That stupid line. That. Oh God, there's so much shitty music that goes to TikTok music, TikTok songs, TikTok dances. So much shitty music. It's overproduced and designed specifically to be a TikTok dance. And then it becomes a hit. And then it blows up on the radio. And then everybody listens to the shitty song. And let's not fool ourselves here. The music is shitty music. It's bad. Most of the song, it's a 3-minute song. Most of it, except for the hook, which gives you 30 seconds, enough to do 4 bars of a dance, 15 seconds of a dance out of a 2-minute song. That's the only good part of the song. And it becomes a hit. All right, let's switch over to picture-in-picture real quick. We'll leave that as the big screen. Let's see here. Can I lift it up a little bit like this? Can we put it on the ground? Boom. Yeah, that'll work. Let's lift that up a little bit. No, what we'll do is we'll lift a leg up. There we go. We'll lift up a leg on the tripod. Grow up, people. Lower that back down. Lower this back down. There, the real star of the show. Boomtown Bourbon. Available online. And Unk, Dustin, Unk is short for uncle. Beastie Boys, holy shit, yeah, Beastie Boys. That was a wholly different sound in the R&B world, in the hip hop rap world. They used instruments, unbelievable. It was so awesome to hear instruments on rappers actually using instruments. They weren't just lyricists. They could use instruments. They were using sampled beats. They were using sampled songs. They had Slash play on a song, for God's sakes. So much good. So much good. Some of my favorite music. Vanessa Kitty was up earlier. And Top Shelf, Dustin, Unk. It's UNC, short for uncle. Some of these kids think that's an insult. I don't. I actually am an uncle. It bothers me not at all. Anyway, and admittedly, honestly, truthfully, if I was being completely honest, their commentary doesn't really bother me at all. It's uninteresting. It's uncreative. The lack of creativity is probably the thing that bothers me most. Like, I mean, Jesus, you're sitting here watching all of the internet. You have all of the internet available to you. And the best you can do is Unk got his kid's phone. Really? Really? Fucking lame losers. Anyway. But see, that's the thing, Sunflowers. The songs are bad. They're not the performer isn't successful. That's their one song. One song. One song designed for a stupid TikTok meme. And what's the rest that they do? Nothing. A big pile of steaming crap. That's it. It's like that dude. I don't even know his name. Don't ask me how I did it. I just did it. It was hard. That one line, that one phrase, that is one phrase out of a whole song from a whole album. He tours. He plays music to live audiences. And he had a following of people that would come to his shows, and he would have live shows, and he would charge money for his live shows. They would buy tickets. And then that blew up into a stupid TikTok meme or a YouTube short or Instagram meme. And then all of a sudden, his shows sell out. He sells out. He's charging more money for his shows because people are now clamoring to come to his shows so that they can hear him say one line out of his entire catalog of music. So, of course, that show goes to the end of the catalog, goes to the end of the show. Probably, if he's smart, it goes into the encore, not the actual performance. Good for him. You know? It fuels the shut up, Sunflowers. Don't delete that. I already read it. But it fuels the creativity, and it gives them a chance to take off and launch. And there's a lot of creators that's what that does. The virality of a moment gives them the launching pad to be greater and bigger and better. That's the benefit. If they're good enough. If they're not good enough, the virality just brings a whole bunch of people to come on and see that they're not good. So it's a double-edged sword, right? Julia Nolke. That was one of the first ones, and not one of the first people that went viral, but one of the first people that I noticed this happening with, where she'd had a big video that blew up. It's future me talking to present me in 1919, but she did the video in 2020, obviously, because you can't time travel. Future me from 2020 going back a year in time to talk to me at the end of 2019. Whatever. That was the premise of the video. She goes viral with that video. She went from a fairly obscure actress, skit comic, trying to make a name for herself on the YouTubes, a professional actress, but trying to make a name for herself all the same. And that video goes viral. And then she goes from being an obscure actress to a viral star on YouTube, right? Gets like in a month she gets like 1 million subscribers or something like that, 100,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers. She goes crazy. Her channel goes crazy. But here's the thing: she had the talent to back it up. So her viewership spikes up like 1 million views on that one video, or whatever. And then like she levels off to like 150,000 views on all of her videos after that. You can see a before and after. Before Julia Nolke became Julia Nolke, and then after she became that. There's a spike of viewership, and then it hits a plateau, and it stays up at that level. But then there's others, Sunflowers, people you and me both know, who have a viral pop. It goes up, they get 15, 20,000 views on a video, 15, 20, 100,000 views, whatever, on a video, and then they settle back down to their level because they're just not. There wasn't anything behind. There wasn't the production quality. There wasn't the writing. There wasn't the acting. There wasn't anything behind it. It happens. What was it? It was a comedian out of Alabama, I think. Oh no, he dead. Oh, call an ambulance. He dead. Dude flies off the ATV, whatever. That dude, the voiceover comic, some kind of voiceover comic, he takes off on that the virality of that video takes off, and then collapse back down because he was not a good comic. You could tell the rest of his videos there just wasn't the talent there. There's a difference between an undiscovered talent and somebody who's not talented. And I've said before, I'm not a YouTuber. I am a whiskey man who has a YouTube channel. I'm not a YouTube content creator with a distillery. Yeah, we'll go with the rye today. I'm gonna have a glass of rye while I wrap up the rest of this live stream. So I am under no delusions whatsoever that I'm going to be, some viral hit and we're going to get 1 trillion subscribers and, whatever. I'm never going to get, probably not going to get drinking double oak rye. It is after 2 o'clock. It's happy hour for me. I'm probably never going to get a YouTube button. I'm fine with that. I don't need to have 100,000 subscribers. I'm here to sell whiskey, not make content. That's my goal. That's my mission, is to sell whiskey. Now, it'd be cool if I did, but that's not the goal. That's not the target. That's not the reason for doing this. That said, I'm under no delusions that I'm some kind of viral talent. Never going to happen. Probably never going to happen. And I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly okay with that. I'm not Ryan what's his face or Julia what's her face or any of these people who take off and become, internet famous. I don't need to be internet famous. I want to be whiskey famous. I want to be whiskey famous. Go buy my whiskey. That's fine. That's why I'm here. Why is Cardi B a successful rapper? I think Cardi B is a successful rapper for a couple of reasons. One, she's had some pretty solid hits. She's pretty good at what she does. She's also sexy as fuck. Um, I think she was a stripper at one point. I don't know. I'm not familiar with her background, but she's hot without question. She is a smoke show. That helps. You know, there's that. That's another rule in the internet is if you are attractive, if you're unattractive, you're going to have to work like a man. If you're attractive, you get a bonus. You get a little benefit, internet love for being attractive. But she's quite from what I've heard. I don't consume a lot of her music. She's not one of my top picks, but she's pretty solid when it comes to lyricism and musicianship. She's pretty fucking solid. Not bad. You asked earlier what my music is. No, Dustin, did I answer your question? Why they call me Unk? It is a unimaginative what they think they think it's an insult. It's just an unimaginative. Unk is short for uncle. That's it. The I don't know, unfunny uncle, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care. Because I am an uncle, and I'm fine with that. I mean, whatever. Bothers me not. It's uninteresting and unimaginative. They could do better, is what I'm saying. They could do better. But I'm happy that they keep coming with their uninteresting comments, their uninteresting and lame comments, because every time one of these 1 and 2 subscriber channels with 1,500 views comes to my channel to leave a stupid comment, it boosts the engagement of the video, and it gets seen by more people. So I get more views, and the more views I get, the more of that juicy monetization money comes in. So I'm loving it. I'm loving the uninteresting, non-creative. Come on, uninteresting and uncreative comments as they come in. They're adorable. They really are. They think they're insulting me, which is just so cute. It's just so cute. There we go. Anyway, that's what I mean. There's so many people have said it. It's just uninteresting and uncreative. Not unlike Tater the Creola's music. It's uninteresting and not creative. It's just derivative. It's the same album that he's made for 4 albums in a row. Leave your comments down below, kids. Also, internet drama is fake. There's no such thing as internet beef. Okay, favorite music. Sunflowers. Favorite music. That's a great question. Because I have a lot of favorite music. Jesus. I'm trying to sort through all the stuff that I've listened to in the last week or so. Metallica, Rage Against the Machine, Creedence Clearwater Revival. I listen to the Beatles, but I don't consider that to be my favorite music. I prefer Creedence over the Beatles. Green Day, REM, Beastie Boys, Eminem, DMX, Parliament, shit. There's bands. The names I'm forgetting them. The Killers, the Mostly bands, not individual performers. New greatest line ever. Uh, I don't know what you got to tell me what that is because I don't remember it. You're a vegan. I bet you're a vegan. You don't want beef, and I've just eaten beef, bitch. I do. I've just eaten. You're a vegan. I bet you're a vegan. You don't want beef, bitch. I do, and I've just eaten. Eaten. Nice. I like Snoop. I like I've said Biz Markie already, haven't I? That time period, that genre. Fuck. A lot of these performers are dead too. That makes me feel old. I want to like Chapel Roan, but I want to see if she's got like more there behind what she seems to be the real deal, which is really cool to hear a brand new artist just get invented overnight. I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, I know she's been working at it for like 5 years, which is even cooler when you see overnight successes finally take off after like 5 years of work. Coolio, that was another one of my favorites back in the day. That world, that genre. I mean, we'd put their CDs on and just fucking crank it. Joan Jett, man, I could listen to her at top volume. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. I Love Rock and Roll is an unexpectedly problematic song because she says in the song that she's scoping out this dude and he looks to be about 17. When she's singing that song, she's 23 years old. She's a 23-year-old woman singing a song about a dude by the jukebox who looks to be about 17. Switch the roles. If it's a dude, if it's David Lee Roth singing about this chick standing by the jukebox and she looks to be about 17, ought to be good to go by the end of the night. She's coming home with me. Problematic, isn't it? That's the double standard, kids. That's the double standard. 17-year-old guy gets with a 23-year-old chick. Everybody's high-fiving him. 23-year-old guy gets with a 17-year-old chick. He's maybe a predator. I don't know if we want to have him around. He's dangerous. Yeah, that's your double standard, kids. That's the double standard. So enjoy it if you're 17. Lament if you're 23. What other? I mean, god dang, it's Tom Petty. I mean, my musical taste goes from outlaw country to West Coast rap to East Coast rock and metal, Boston rock with Aerosmith, to grunge, Northwest grunge. It goes literally all over the map when I think about it. That's and it's all different. It's all unusual. The ones at the top of the game are doing something different and something unusual. The ones down in the middle, they're just making derivative. The same, and even you see this even in over the arc of a band's career. Like they'll be the first record will be earth shattering. The second record they'll try to do they'll either try to do something like the first, or they'll try to do something different that they've never done before. And neither one of those two things work very well. Because, if they try to do something like the first, it just sounds like they're doing it again. If they try to do something different that they've never done before, their fans don't know what to expect. And then with the third album they come out, they have a little bit more freedom to do their third album. The record label isn't quite so interested anymore because maybe the second record just kind of flopped a little bit. they didn't have a whole lot of fun making the second record. Maybe they did a little bit too many drugs. They're trying to get a little bit clean, and it becomes something distinctly different. And the third record is when these big supergroups tend to really find their voice, and they become really fantastic. And their third record and their fourth record are something special. And they'll do a greatest hits album, and then their fifth one just becomes kind of a cut and paste, paint by numbers, and everything after that is they're just making money. I don't think it's been very often in the history of music that a fifth record has been better than the third. It doesn't tend to get better with each additional release. It becomes just more of the same. Let's be real. If you can tell 17 versus 18, that's a sign you're into something free. Yes, that is probably true. If you have to ask if she's old enough, she's not old enough. Friday by Rebecca Black. Oh my God, the cringe close to my heart. Friday, kicking it on Friday. That is the worst. It is a master class in how much your parents love you. She is currently, if I'm not mistaken, she is currently in some kind of music marketing position, I think. She's not making music, but I think she is an artist of some sort. She is doing some kind of media marketing better than every Taylor Swift song. That's just wrong, Dustin. Come on, man. That is not accurate. Come on. If we're just going to start saying nonsense here. Rebecca Black. So, yeah, let me look up what she's doing. She's gone on to have a whole bona fide life. What is Rebecca Black doing? Rebecca Black. She's an American singer-songwriter and YouTube. Let's just go with the general. She's 27 years old. Her birthday's in June. She is a full-on singer-songwriter. She is performing. She has a record. I mean, she's taken her villainy and turned it into fame. I don't know if it counts as fame, but she's got a songography. 1, 2, 3. Oh, she's got a song called Saturday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 songs that she has written. All on the back of her one horrible viral song. For those of you kids who don't know, look it up. This is a song that was it was just bad. Oh my God, it was just let me read some of the delightful lyrics from Friday. Friday lyrics. Oh, 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 who, yeah, 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 yeah. That's how it starts. Obviously, it's auto-tuned, so it's on notes and stuff. 7 a.m., waking up in the morning, got to be fresh, got to go downstairs, got to get my bowl, got to get my cereal, seeing everything the time is going, ticking on, everybody's rushing, got to get down to the bus stop, got to catch my bus, got to see my friends, kicking in the front seat, sitting in the back seat, got to make my mind up, which seat can I take? It's Friday, got to get a Friday. I'm sorry. It's Friday. Got to get down on Friday. Everybody looking forward to the weekend. Friday. Everybody looking forward to the weekend. Friday. Getting down on a Friday. Everybody looking forward to the weekend. Partying. I'm not going to sing it like her, but given a couple rounds of practice, I could get that beat down. I could absolutely get that beat down. 7:45. We're driving on the highway, cruising so fast. I want time to fly. Fun. Think about fun. You know what it is. I got this. You got this. My friend is by my right. I got this. You got this. Now you know it. Kicking in the front seat, sitting in the back seat. Got to make my mind up. Which seat can I take? It's Friday, and that's the best part. When it hits into the chorus, she's got this thing she does where she goes, "It's Friday." She like pinches her face up and like squeezes out the Friday like. And and she's like, "It's Friday. Like Friday has 3 syllables at least. Friday. Anyway, got to get down on Friday. Oh, it's horrible. Go look it up. It's on YouTube. It's got like 43 billion views. But do it at your own risk. It's your own fault for doing it. Don't blame me. Tough shit. All right. It's almost 3 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. This has been fun. Friday. Thanks for reminding me of that one, Destin. I really do appreciate it. And Mr. Jiggs, welcome. Thanks for popping in. I saw your name pop up earlier, but I didn't say anything. My bad. Big shout out to all the Tyson, the whatever Tyler the Creator fans who popped in to try and act like they knew something about music that you don't. Good for you guys for popping in. I do appreciate the monetizing your hate. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Keep coming in. Keep making more comments. Spread the love without question. and I mean that without question. Just spread it. Don't even ask questions. Just yeah. And remember, internet beef is fake. I am the Old Humble guy. This has been the Old Humble Distilling Company. I've bottled whiskey today. We did 5 cases. 2 of them are going to Waco. The rest are going to be right here in the distillery. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for visiting. Go talk to strangers. Be nice to each other. Be awesome to each other. Cheers. That's empty. I get a little bit in there. We have one parting shot, parting sip. I'm not going to do a whole shot. I still got a day of work in front of me. There. Just a little bit right there. See? Cheers, guys. Have a great night.